We live.
Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. I am so excited to be here. I thought we would have some problems, but it's finally worked out. Get logged in, and we are here live. Welcome, everyone. Good evening, good evening. So, so I am excited to be here with one of my favorite people. I have with us Paul Barrows. And we are here to talk about a lot of things. As Paul does a lot, and so I'm glad that we had this opportunity to get back together and talk. So before I get started with everything, I forgot to say who I am because sometimes there are new people online. They just jump on. They don't
Mhm.
know who or what's going on. But I'm Sharon Harrell, and I'm with Royalty Business Group, and we do retirement and financial coaching. And today this month is my special guest, Paul Barrows, or better known as Paul the Connector. And he is here to share some information with us about building our business. Paul is a great business coach and strategist, and he's here to tell us how we can build our businesses to the next level, whatever that looks like for you in order to move forward in your goals. So thank you, Paul, for being with us this evening. And I just want to start off by asking you to tell us about yourself, because again, there are those who don't know who you are yet and want to know more about you.
Absolutely. Well, I first want to say thank you for having me on again. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate your consistency and tenacity. And, congratulations on just, all your success and everything that you're doing with your show. It's definitely a good look. There's a lot of great people that you have on where, a lot of businesses and people in general can just learn in order for them to go to the next level in their business and their life. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, well, we're here to hear about you this evening. So we want to tell us your story, share us about how you got started.
Well, my name is Paul the Connector, and by trade, I'm a graphic designer. I do logos, websites, marketing plans, campaigns and advertising campaigns. So basically, I got started. I graduated from the Art Institute of Washington for advertising and marketing. And as soon as I graduated, I started my own graphic design and print business. So, during that, that was about like 10 years ago. And I helped a lot of businesses get started, as far as just like creating their branding, their overall look as far as their logos and their websites. And what I came and found out was that a lot of businesses, they have good products and services, but they don't necessarily have good processes and systems in place in order for them to sustain and grow their business to the next level. So what was happening was I was designing like websites and logos, and a lot of these businesses, like a year or two, they'd be, out of business or they switch the business to something else because they couldn't really, figure out how to create consistent income. So what I decided to do is I figured that me being able to provide them with better solutions like systems and processes will help them stay in business a little bit longer. So right now I have a software company that allows you to manage all your leads and your customers in one location because the problem a lot of businesses was having was they couldn't keep up with the leads that were coming into the business, and so it was communication breakdowns, so they wasn't being able to fulfill the service that they promised to some of their clients and things like that. So I made the adjustment in my business model. Instead of just doing logos and websites for people, I started to help them with their systems and strategy so they can scale their businesses.
Okay, okay. So
Mhm.
what does that mean to do the strategies? Like how do you do that?
Okay, so one of my core principles is people's problems over profits. So we need to start focusing on solving people's problems before you just try to sell them things. So what
Mhm.
I try to tell people is you want to have a good understanding of who your target market is. You want to understand them better than they understand themselves so you can start to position yourself as a solution. Okay. So I help businesses define who their target market is and help
Mhm.
them create better solutions to solve those problems for that target audience.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, it's people. You're doing business with people. Okay. So if you don't have a clear understanding of their pain points, of their goals and their dreams and aspirations, then it's hard to kind of craft a solution to solve their problems. So what I like to do is it's called the customer development process. A lot of businesses focus on product development. They build the product first and then they go to the customer. But
Mhm.
I suggest is before you create the product, you should start to communicate with your target audience first to see exactly, what it is that they're struggling with. So you don't want to create something that they don't want to use. You don't want to spend a lot of time creating these solutions and all these things that they really is not going to benefit them. So you want to ask them questions. You want to do surveys. You want to get their feedback. You want to reach out to them and ask them like, okay, what are you struggling with? And what solutions are you looking for in your business? Because that's a better approach. And it brings them into the process early on. Instead of you creating a product first and then going out looking for customers, you're already talking to the customers.
Mhm.
Okay. So, and then it also makes them feel as if they're part of the process of you creating a solution for them, which makes it easier for you to connect with them, and then for them to share your business with other people as well. So, I just like to take a different approach as far as like doing business. You should focus on the customer first, on the problem that you're trying to solve.
Right, right, because then you are saving time. Like you said, you're saving time and money, making sure that you are providing what is wanted versus what you think is wanted, with what the customer actually wants. But you have to determine who those customers are first before you can start creating whatever it is that you need to create.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're in the financial industry, like yourself, and you're targeting, people who are just retired, then you can go out to different groups on Facebook and start to, ask them questions on, you know, um, what problems they're having in retirement, or what things or what solutions are they looking for, and then once you get that feedback from them, you can start to craft, your own solutions to those particular problems that they're having. So
Mm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So I wanted to know from you, what is it that you came to share with us? Because you said, when I asked you, what is it that you wanted to share? You said that you have 3 strategies that you wanted to share about leveraging a business. So tell us about these strategies and how we can do, because I'm gonna take notes so I can make sure that I have the information. And I know I'm gonna have to go back and listen too, but I want to hear about the strategies, and I'm going to be asking questions so I can make sure I understand.
Okay, no problem at all. So basically, you want to learn how to do more with less, with less. So you want to learn how to leverage, certain aspects of your business. So the 3 things that you should start leveraging is your time, other people's talent, and technology.
Mm,
Okay. So time. The best way that you can leverage your time, and a lot of people do this, like let's say you're an author, a book author. You write the book once, and then you can sell it over and over and over again. So basically, that's leveraging your expertise and your time. So you take the time to create it one time, but then you can go ahead and sell it over and over again. The same thing with video content. Every time you create a video, you create the video one time, but then you can post it several times over and over again. So that's
mhm,
saving you time right there. And it also gives you an opportunity to express, your experience, and it helps you position yourself as an authority within your industry. So, a lot of us have expertise and a lot of information that we need to, be recording or put it into like a book format so
mhm.
that we can leverage it. You don't want to keep on doing these things over and over again. So leveraging your time, is very important. So do you have any questions about time before I go into the next one?
Oh, no, I'm about the time. Yeah.
So you understand like the reason why we need to create more content is so that, you know, um, it could reach thousands of people at one time, so
Right.
without the content, it's like, you're either creating stuff over and over again, and it's like, it's wasting time actually, instead of
Right.
leveraging it.
So, with that being said, you mentioned about doing videos, and I think we had this conversation once before. where you can take that same video and break it down, break it up into bits. And that way you don't have to air the whole video at one time. You can have it stagnant, you know, over a period of time. And that
Yeah,
way people can get bits of it, and you are doing just maybe a one-time recording, but it can go out for several months, depending on how you schedule it. And therefore you don't have to keep, like you said, keep making content constantly over and over again, because that can be overwhelming for you
yes.
to, or for a person to just have like every week or whenever to do all this, do content over and over again.
Yeah, so I like to create. Sometimes I like to create long form content, and this is an example of what we're doing. This is long form content. So we might be on this podcast for like 30 minutes to an hour, and
Right.
what we can do is we can take bits and pieces of this conversation, and then we can use it over and over again in different formats. So you can put it on TikTok, you can put it on Instagram, you can put it on Shorts, you can make reels out of it. So it's good to do like podcasts like this because you can like leverage a lot of the content that's in there from just doing 1 hour a 1 hour video. So possibly we might get like 15 to 20 clips out of this one video. So it
Right.
kind of like, it helps you expand what you're doing.
And if you do more than one, then that even makes it, where you can have it over a longer time. So is that what people do when, let's say if they create a some type of training or something online where, and I've heard of people doing this, like they might put it on like Patreon or some type of platform, and then um those that want to review the content, then they just go and watch the video, whenever they want, at their leisure, I'll say. And instead of just having like a regularly, the person who makes the content will make several videos
Hmm.
and just have it out there so it can just be seen more than one time. That's the same thing that you're talking about, leveraging your time?
Yeah, absolutely. Creating like courses and programs is another great way to leverage your time. Let's say you
Mhm.
create like a 4 week mini course. You know, you create
Mhm.
that course one time, and then people can take it over and over again. You can keep on selling it. So one of my recommendations is like, if you don't create like a book can take a long time for you to develop, and a lot of people might, procrastinate on creating a book. But a little bit easier is creating maybe like a 3 day boot camp or like a
Mhm.
4 week course or something like that. It's more manageable for you to create. And like I said, like you can sell it for like $99 up to $1,000, whatever price
Mhm.
point you want,
Mhm.
So, it's great to create those assets. They're called digital assets. You want to create digital assets, okay? Like
Oh.
real estate, it's like property, it's like your intellectual property. Let's say that you
Mhm.
want to start creating more intellectual property, and that could come in the form of all kinds of different. It could be a checklist, it can
Mhm.
be a PDF guide, it can be audio, video, books. It could be like quizzes, surveys, those things, where, people can gather insight and information so they can make, better decisions in their businesses. So definitely start creating more digital assets. Okay.
And is that something that you help your clients with?
Oh yeah, most definitely. We help. I was working with a travel agent, and she was planning a trip to South Africa. So we helped her create a travel guide. It was like a 16-page travel guide, and it
Mhm.
was a free guide that she was giving away. We used it as a lead magnet to generate leads for people who are interested in going to South Africa. So that worked pretty well. We sent it out on different like groups, travel groups, and on Facebook and stuff like that, and people, downloaded her guide. And from those people who downloaded the guide, she was able like to reach out to those people to see if they were interested in going on her trip to South Africa. So we also did another one. She planned I think she was going to Greece. So we did another travel guide for Greece. And so I consider those, digital assets that she can use to help sell her products and services. So it's called like a give to get strategy. You want to give something away for free in order to
Mhm.
get something in return. So what you're trying to get is you want to collect data. You're trying to collect as much data information from your leads as possible. So you want to collect a name, email, phone number, whatever information you need to follow back up with them. So when you call them, you have a kind of some information on what they're interested in.
Okay, and also by creating this the digital assets that people can review and see and listen, that also creates your brand because people are seeing and hearing your content and seeing who you are, and that kind of builds a somewhat of a layer of trust, I believe, because they're starting to see you, seeing consistency. They know that what you're saying is to be true or what they feel is true and they can believe. And so that builds a sense of trust between the two because it's hard to build trust. And then people don't want to do business with people that they don't trust. So that's one of the ways, right?
Yeah, video is one of the best ways to create connections with your target audience. They kind of get a better feel of who you are, and what you're about. So like you said, it's very important to build trust, especially on the internet. There's so many scams going on, and
Mhm.
you don't want to be put into that category. So what you want to try to do is just like try to be transparent, as possible, open and honest, and just tell people about yourself. You want to be natural too. You don't and another thing is like the content you create, it doesn't have to be all polished either. You don't have to go into editing it for days. And people like natural stuff, like going live, and even if you might stutter or you might, have a loss for words, it's okay. It's human. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be okay with those things, when you're trying to put yourself out there on the internet because a lot of people they're afraid to get on camera and make these videos, but
Right.
you got to get out your comfort zone. You got to face your fears.
Hmm.
Those that's my two things that I be telling everybody. Get out your comfort zone and face your fears because on the other side of it is the results that you're looking for,
Right.
so
Right.
stop letting these things hold you back because it's affecting your confidence. And in business, you have to have confidence in order for people to really believe in you and in your business. Nobody wants to do business with somebody who's unsure. So
Exactly.
just face your fears, whatever it is. If you're scared to being judged, don't worry about it.
Mhm.
It's a part of the process. People gonna judge you regardless if you do or if you don't. So it's best that you go ahead and follow your heart because at the end of the day, you're really just trying to help people with,
Mhm.
with the content. So yeah. So that's my little rant. But face your fears and get out your comfort zone, and then you'll be able to start to see better results in your businesses.
All right. Yes, definitely, definitely. So yes, so let's go to the next strategy.
Okay, so we talked about time. So the next T is talent.
Mhm.
Okay, so you want to leverage other people's talent and time. You don't want to be trying to do everything yourself.
Mhm.
That's a recipe for disaster. If you're
Right.
doing everything yourself, then you're probably not doing it to its fullest capabilities. There's always somebody who can do what you're doing a little bit better. But a misconception is a lot of businesses feel as if, especially new entrepreneurs, they feel as if they can't afford to hire somebody. But the truth of the matter is you can't afford not to hire somebody,
Mhm.
because you're going to be stuck doing everything yourself. And I can give you a couple of examples of how it affected my business and my business growth. So as a web designer, I was doing all the websites myself. I was doing
Mhm.
the sales, the marketing, the websites, and every
Mhm.
time I would get a new website client, I wouldn't promote my business as much as I would before because I didn't have the time. I was stuck doing the website, trying to fulfill the job for the client.
Right.
So it was stopping my sales from flowing, you know? So what I had to do was I had to start offering more value. I increased my price. I increased my price. I started offering more value to my clients. So instead of just throwing them up a website, I would do consultation sessions with them and help them come up with strategies in order to attract more business. So that helped me, me being able to raise the price and offer more value. I was able to hire somebody else to do the websites for me. So I didn't have to do the websites anymore. I can focus more on the sales and the marketing aspect of the business. So
Mm,
that freed up a lot of my time, and I was able to start to grow my business slowly after bringing in people to help me execute and fulfill some of these orders. So you and a lot of the time, like these graphic, I mean these the web designers that I was bringing on, they was doing the job faster than me.
mm,
Because that's
okay,
all they were focused on.
right.
That was their responsibility. So it allowed me, like I said, allowed me to start scaling my business slowly. And yeah, so just using other people's talent and time will free up you to do higher level activities. Now you can focus on closing bigger and better deals.
Hmm.
Instead of being stuck in the business, you're working on the business to grow it to a whole nother level. So you got to get out of working in the business so much and try to work on the business.
Yeah, I like that, working on the business versus working in the business. So a couple of things that I heard. One thing about leveraging other people's, and that was key when you said other people's, not doing it yourself. So other
Hmm.
people's talents and their time. And one of the things that came to mind is that you have to learn their talents to see if they are the person that you want to do that. And that takes your time, but it is worth that time. I know personally I tried to do some shortcuts with asking family members that I was like, oh, they should know how to do social media. And that did not, I was like, you fired. I had to be like, you fired, because
Yeah.
they did not, they didn't, come through. And so I had to learn that I have to do my due diligence and research and discussion about what it is that I'm looking for before I make the decision to, work with that person.
That's a big mistake a lot of businesses they make when they're trying to bring in help is that they don't have clear objectives and responsibilities and roles. So
Right.
if they're looking for somebody to come to, if you don't have a clear understanding of what that person is going to do then somebody can come into your business and start doing things that you don't want them to do. So you have to have what's it called? A checklist of the responsibilities and tasks that they need to handle, and you need to be able to like explain that to them clearly. So it can be very challenging finding the right people for the right jobs.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta go through a lot of trash to get to the treasure. But
Mhm.
like I said, it's worth it at the end of the day because you don't want to be stuck doing everything yourself. So I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that can help you with human resources to help find these people. And they got websites like Fiverr and
Mhm.
what's the other one called? Upwork. And
Right.
then you can Facebook groups and you can find, talented people too. And you just give people I like to give people small little tests to see if they're going to follow through properly. So,
Mhm.
and I ask them, smart questions to see if they know the answers to them. So, if I'm hiring somebody to handle, like, let's say, run some Facebook ads, I'm going to ask them specific questions related to Facebook ads to see how they respond to it. So you have to
Mhm.
have a certain level of understanding of your industry and what you're in. So, because you want to hire the best talent as possible.
Right, right. And like you said, so you can work on your business and not work in your business because that'll keep you too much in the weeds and you won't be able to actually let's see it grow to implement the things that you really want to see. So I did have another question. I can't remember what it is right now, but when it comes back to me, I'm going to ask that question when it comes to
Mhm.
other people's time and talent. But definitely let's go to the next one. What is the next strategy?
Okay, so the next thing you need to leverage in your business is technology. You know, I mean, just think about Uber and how they work. They use their technology to connect drivers with people who need rides. So their technology allows them to, grow their business exponentially. So they have the platform, the Uber platform. Like I said, it connects the drivers with the riders, and they have different like even Amazon. They using leveraging technology in order to get the packages to the customers in less than 24 hours. So small business owners need to learn how to leverage technology in their business as well too. So as far as like doing outreach to clients, like is ways that you can, instead of you creating one post at a time on Facebook or on social media platforms, it's tools that you can use that you can post on all the platforms all at one time, and it's like that saves you a tremendous amount of time. So social media is a job in itself, and you want to use tools that will allow you to, expand and leverage your time better. So you're not, doing it on, wasting it on, manual activities. So you can
Right.
be sending emails out to thousands of people, text messages out to thousands of people instead of responding one at a time to each person. And now with AI, AI is now here, and AI can do customer service for you. It can
Right.
respond to customer problems and concerns. AI's 24/7, so
Right.
now you can, instead of having like a secretary or virtual assistant, AI can step in and handle a lot of those, concerns for you and save you a lot of time and money too as well. So like on average, the average secretary can cost upward between 60 to $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get a AI virtual assistant at a fraction of the cost that can
Right.
do just as much, if not more, than that secretary. So just using like technology right now is like it's key in order for you to really scale your business. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're creating content, online, you got people reaching out to you and commenting on your post, and it's hard for you to follow up with everybody.
Right.
So you need systems in place that that can follow up for you. So.
Right. Right. So, when you were saying that, I was thinking about, when I log into websites sometimes and those little bots pop up, may I help you? How can I assist you? Even when you call, a company and you have to go through that automated process, they always want to know, well, what is it that you're calling about? So we can direct you to a call. It's like, I want to talk to somebody. Well, what is it that you want to talk about before we can direct you to who you need to direct you
Mhm.
to, all of those things. And one of the things that I remember somebody saying that I didn't think about is that when we are using our typing an email or a text and it auto populates for us, that's
Mhm.
AI. How it's doing those things. That's what I heard somebody say, like that's AI as well, because it's anticipating what you are
Yeah,
gonna
trying to
say.
predict what you're going to type and say next.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's part of all of that. And I was like, wow, I didn't even think about that, actually being AI, or the little bots that come up asking you, how can I help you and things like that. So it's
but it's beyond bots right now. Like the AI agents, they can like engage with you and have a full conversation with you.
oh yeah, yeah,
So it's not like they trying to direct you to the person. They're going to solve your problem right then and
right,
there for you. So you
right.
don't even have to get directed to somebody because so what you do is you have to train your AI employees. So right
Mm,
now I have anybody who calls our business line, our AI agent is going to answer that call. And I trained the AI agent to build a rapport. So every person who calls that number, she's going to ask you, what are you struggling with? What problems are you having in your business? She's going to go back and forth with you to help you find a solution, and then she's going to suggest that you book an appointment with one of our specialists.
mm,
So what happens is once she books that appointment, the customer is going to receive a notification and a text message. Our company is going to receive a notification and text message as well too. So, and this is without any human interaction at all. So,
mm,
right now, and then AI, the technology is getting better and better as the days go on. So it's like this is like the worst it's going to be. So
mm,
my recommendation is like everybody has need to be using some type of AI solutions in their business somehow, some way, because
mhm.
if not, it's going to be I'm just trying to find a cool way of saying this, you know, but a lot of your competition is going to blow right past you. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because they're using these tools in their businesses, and they're going to be able to demand more market share, and they're going to be able to engage with more people. Right now our AI assistant can handle multiple calls at once. So let's say you got three or four people calling at once. I got three or four different AI agents talking to all four of them at the same time. So that's something that can't be done right now unless you have a big call center. So it's
Right.
like you can have your own call center for your small business right now.
Wow. That's that's interesting. I didn't even think of that or know that that was really possible to have, multiple AIs talking to people. But I guess as your business grows, you do need to have more and more assistance, whether it's a live person or a virtual person. Um, so yeah, that's interesting to know. So what I would love to hear now from you is how you help companies to put all that together and what you offer.
Okay, so the name of our company is called My Automation Suite, and it's an all-in-one platform that allows you to manage all of your leads and all of your customers in one location. So with the software, you can create landing pages, sales pages. You can run Facebook ads from the platform. It has a booking calendar for you to book all your meetings and appointments. You can create invoices and contracts as well. Um, and the engine of the is the automations. So you can set up automations to go out. So for example, like when you book an appointment with a dentist or a doctor, and you know how you receive those notifications, those text messages or emails to remind you of the appointment. Like you can have we help businesses set those systems up as well. So ultimately, we help you communicate better with your leads and your clients. And we also use AI in order to help you throughout the process as well too. So we have AI workflow, so AI can help you set up the automations. We have
Mhm.
AI that you can use to do inbound calls, and outbound calls is coming soon. So you'll have an AI agent that can actually make outbound calls for you,
Mm,
so it can call people for you. So that's coming next. So right now we just have the inbound. So
uh-huh.
let's say you have a customer service AI agents or sales agents, and you can train these agents on how you want them to respond and reply to people as they're calling in your business. So it's getting pretty it's getting pretty cool. It depends on how you want to look at it. I
Yeah,
mean, a lot of things that AI is kind of scary too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Especially with some of these videos that they create and this content
mhm,
creation. I'm like,
yeah.
certain parts of AI I'm not all the way, down with, but
Mhm.
it's where we're going and we're here. So you got to figure out how to make the adjustments in your business so you can take full advantage of what's about to happen. Um,
Right.
and it's
So,
happening pretty fast too. So you got to get
mhm.
on board quickly.
Yeah, yeah, I've noticed that. Because, and when you said about like some of the content in the videos, I saw where I guess it's an influencer, a young lady where someone used AI to make a video of her. It looked just like her. Like it was once they showed them both beside each other, the AI generated and her, and you could, if they were together, then you could tell the difference. But with them,
Without,
separate, you would have known that that was an AI generation of her. And so that was really frightening a little, to see that people could do that. But something that came to mind when you were mentioning about outbound calls, right now when people call telemarketers, I'm just going to say telemarketers because this is the ones that I know that normally do this. There's when it picks up, sometimes there's not hesitation, but there's a slight gap between the time that they come on after you answer the phone. So how is the AI going to avoid that? Because people normally know, oh, this is something's happening because there's no immediate response to the hello, and they'll hang up. At least I do, because I'll hear, and
oh
if
yeah,
I
me
don't hear
too. I
somebody,
hang up too. But a
yeah,
lot of them calls is not. A lot of those calls that's coming through is not AI.
right,
It's like these auto generated response. It's auto.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Like a recording that they're
right,
doing. So with the AI outbound, we are still our tech team is still developing the technology to be able to to reduce that space in between the call when you
right.
call, because like
Mhm.
you said, people will notice it and they'll automatically hang up. So we still testing it out right now, and when we launch it, hopefully we'll be able to prevent that from happening, because like you
Okay.
said. a lot of people are already used to it, and they got a contingency plan for that. They just hang up on it.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so, and so another thing I thought about is, with talking, you talked about how you train the AI. And I've heard this before too. Then you train the AI to give you responses that will sound more like how you normally would respond to various questions or your writing style or things like that. Culturally, when the AI is going to be talking to someone, because right now, when you call a company, you can kind of tell that it's AI or something, going on. So culturally, are you working on something where it can sound more authentic?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now we have up to 30 different voices that you can use. So you can kind of adjust and change the voice to fit your specific business needs. But
Mhm,
the technology, like I said, the technology is getting better and better every day. And
mhm,
we don't want to, make it seem like we don't want people to think we don't want to try to make people think that it's not an AI agent. We don't mind them knowing. We want them to know that it's an AI voice,
mhm.
that is the
Okay.
AI that you're speaking to. So we're not trying to cover it up and make it seem like a real human. We don't want to do that.
Mhm,
We want
mhm.
you to always know that, this is an AI representative that you're speaking to. So yeah, like I said, but the technology is getting a lot better and you could change the language. So let's say, you know, somebody calls and they're speaking, Spanish or whatever, the AI
Mhm.
agent can pick up on it and make the adjustment,
Okay.
so now you can handle multilingual conversations now. So now that puts your business in a whole nother category. You can deal with, other people. Normally you wouldn't be able to deal with these people because you didn't speak their language, but now with AI, it can help you translate the conversations.
Okay. Okay. So
Hmm.
I want to go back. I did remember what a question I wanted to ask you before when you were talking about doing more with less. And I've heard, I think it was either from you, but it could be also from others where you offer more. You talked about charging more with your business. So offering more, even though it seems like you're charging a little bit less, or providing more um, service. So is that
Hmm.
something that when you decide like, okay, this is the package that I'm offering and you determine the cost, it always seems like, or it's not necessarily seems like, but you're giving a little more for a little lesser cost.
I mean, the rule of thumb is that you want to whatever you charge. You charge somebody $1,000, you want to give them $10,000 worth of service.
Mhm, mhm.
So you want to try to figure out. It's called stacking your offer. So you
Oh,
you stacking it with a whole bunch of, uh it's called make you want to create irresistible offers. Like you got to make an offer that's it's hard for people to refuse. So, like I said, you have to start charging. A lot of businesses, they're not charging enough for their services, so they're undervaluing their business. So a way to do that is to start figuring out going back to the target market, seeing what their problems are and providing them with a lot of value. So you might do like a one-on-one session. You might provide them with a free guide, and you might provide you just want to give them as much stuff as possible in order to justify the price that you are charging them.
right.
So yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Well, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all my AI number. Y'all can talk to my AI agent. 40-621-1372, or you can visit our website. It's www.myautomationsuite. Just take the quick survey. Somebody from our team will follow back up with you. You can also reach out to me, Paula Connector, on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm on all the platforms now, so I'm easily accessible. So, those are the best ways to reach out to me at the moment.
Okay, and
And
your
another
phone number? What's your AI number again?
240 six
Mm-hmm.
two one 1372. If y'all want to test it out, you can call it to speak to it like a regular person, and just so you can get an idea of how it works. And you'll be surprised.
Okay. So what if someone is interested in, they love everything that you're saying and, they know that's great for their business, but they may not be at that point where they can afford to get all of that. What else can you offer them?
So what we do is we have a community. It's called the Base Community, which stands for Becoming a Successful Entrepreneur. And then the group is a free group that you can join where we provide resources for small businesses. So
Mhm.
I'm starting to create more YouTube videos and offering more valuable content. I'm not holding nothing back. I'm just starting to share as much information that I have that I know with
Mhm.
everybody. So like you said, sometimes people can't necessarily afford to just, hop on a software or get an AI agent, but we can still provide them with strategic resources and give them, information on how they can, take their business to the next level. You know, but yeah, the Base Podcast is a platform. It's on Facebook. You could just type in the Base. I think the Base Podcast, Becoming a Successful Entrepreneur. And like I said, we have a lot of free resources in there for people who are not ready to, for an AI agent or for software and things like that.
Okay, all right. That's good to know. And then they can also look at the various or look at your information on your website to see what is offered through your company and get in touch with you to have a consultation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All that information is on the website at myautomationsuite.com. Like you got to take the survey, and once you take the survey, you'll be directed to a booking calendar where you can book an appointment with one of us. So like I recommend that everybody starts to create some type of survey in their business because you want to start collecting, data from potential people who are interested in your services. You don't want to necessarily give everybody access to your booking calendar. Sometimes they're not qualified, so you want to use the survey as a way to pre-qualify people to make sure that they're ready for your particular solution. So this helps you save a lot of time as well too. And you got a lot of what they call tire kickers, like people who just want to call you and just ask you a bunch of questions, but they're not really really serious quite yet. So they end up wasting a lot of your time. And what you want to do in order to prevent that from happening is you want to develop these like surveys or quizzes, and then that way you can pre-qualify people before they reach out to you.
So how would someone know what questions to ask in their survey or their quiz?
You can use ChatGTP to help you get a start. With
Mhm.
questions, what questions to ask. So what you want to do is, whatever industry you're in, you can ask ChatGTP to help you come up with a list of survey questions to help me pre-qualify people. So if
Mhm.
you're in the real estate industry, you can ask it, hey, what are some pre-qualifying questions that I can ask potential, buyers or sellers to see if they're qualified. So in certain questions you can ask, what's your credit score? Have you been pre-approved? You know, these type of questions. If their credit score is too low, it might disqualify them. They might not be able to book an appointment on your calendar if their credit score is too low,
Mhm.
or they might haven't been pre-approved for a loan yet. So you might want them to go get pre-approved yet before they even contact you. So these
Mhm.
questions can help you save a lot of time. And then even with the AI agent, you can train the AI agent on all these survey questions as well too. So you can give people this phone number like, hey, call this number to see if you qualify. So the
Mhm.
AI agent can pre-qualify people for you as well too. So
Okay.
there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. You can create like a form on your website, or you can get, like I said, give people a phone number for them to call, and like I said, to get more information about them.
Okay. All right. And
Hmm.
so tell me what makes your company different than all the other companies? Like, why should we work with Paul the Connector?
Because one of our core values is people's problems over profits. we focus on creating a transformation, and we're not just, trying to get a transaction. So we want to have a impact on all of our clients. So we're not rushing, we're not in a rush, to, just to make a quick transaction. We really want to have a transformation in people's lives and people's businesses. So we really care about people's problems, and that's our focus. People's problems over profits. So anybody who comes to us, they know that we're going to focus on helping them solve their problems. And if we can't help, then we're going to tell you that too as well. So, some instances, it's some people who are not ready for our solution. And instead of us just still trying to sell them on this service, we would tell them like, no, I turn away money all the time. I turn down money all the time because I don't want to take somebody's money who's not necessarily ready to really take advantage of these tools and resources. So
Right.
we're directing them to another solution. And but yeah, that's one of the differences between us and these big companies. They're really a lot of them are transactional. They just want you to use their software, and but they're not really helping you make a transformation.
Okay, all right. And so we
Mm.
do, that is our purpose, is to make a transformation in the lives of our clients. So yeah,
Yes.
that is great. That is great. So what upcoming events or activities do you have? Because we know that you're out in community, um, doing your thing and promoting not just yourself, but others as well. So what's going on that, what kind of activities or events do you have coming up?
I personally don't have any events coming up. Right now it's cold. I, I don't have anything planned in the wintertime, but
Uh-huh.
I'm working with a couple of nonprofit organizations, and I'm working with a couple of restaurants as well too. So in the springtime, we're going to bring back our networking events. We a few months ago we were doing speed networking. So it's all about us collaborating and create partnerships. In order for us to really have our people to have successful businesses, we really need to come together more and share our resources and share our information with each other. Because, without it, we just like working on an island in isolation. And it's hard
Right.
for you to be successful, by yourself alone in your house all day. You know what I'm saying? You need to
Mhm.
put yourself in an environment. So what we want to do is we want to start creating these environments with like-minded individuals to come and collaborate, create partnerships, share resources, and just talk about business. Because sometimes business can be lonely.
Mhm.
You might not have people around you that you can just, pick up the phone and talk to. So you kind of like, alone a lot of the time, and that's not a good place to be. Even like when I first got started, I was like by myself a lot, just like doing the websites and doing the logos. And
Mhm.
what I really had to do in order for my business to start growing was I had to start going to more networking events. I had to really get out of my comfort zone. Even making video content, like I said, my trade is graphic design. I'm behind the computer a lot, but
Mhm.
now it's like if I really want to have an impact, if I really want to get better results for my clients, then I have to start to make content, make videos that's really going to help them in their businesses. So it could be a struggle, but like I said, every obstacle and challenge is an opportunity for you to grow.
Right, right, exactly, exactly. So if someone wants to be able to learn about the different activities or events that you are having coming up in the spring, because like you said, it's cold outside,
Yeah,
um, they should
hibernate.
be.
Right now in the winter, I'm gonna make a lot of content though. So I'm gonna be making more YouTube videos,
Yes.
TikTok videos. So I'm gonna still be active, but like nothing can replace human interaction, like one-on-one, face-to-face, interaction. So we want to have you want to have an online strategy and you want to have an offline strategy. So you want to be able to, you know, when you're out there networking and networking events,
Mhm.
you want to be able to connect with people, one-on-one, face-to-face. And then when they go, the people that you meet at networking events, you want to be able to show them your online presence. So like I said, you want to have like online and offline strategy going on at the same time in order for you to really have a holistic approach when it comes to just like interacting and getting new clients for your business.
Right, exactly. So they should start following you now so they can make sure they're getting the content, building that trust, they're leveraging your time and talent because you are providing the information that they can take in the spring and start. Well, not in the spring, they can start now. They can start as soon as you provide the content to them, they can start implementing the information. So come spring, when you are out there holding the networking events, they can be ready and say, hey, Paul, I implemented these steps that you recommended, and now I'm here and my business has grown from 2 to 10, or however it's, however it's grown, or what they've learned, or they can share what's like, well, this didn't particularly work for me, but what can I do to make it, readjust it so it can work better?
Yes, absolutely. And before we go, I want to give some like actionable steps that you can take and you can do right now. You can do this tonight.
Okay.
So whatever industry you're in, whether it's financial, real estate, go on Facebook and join at least like, 10 to 15 groups that's related in your industry. And then go on to Chat GTP and ask Chat GTP to help you come up with a list of engaging questions that will help you identify your target audience's concerns and problems and pain points. So then
Mhm.
ChatGTP is going to give you a list of these questions that's going to help you create engagement. You want to create thoughtful questions to get, because
Mhm.
people, if you notice, the posts on social media that get the most engagement are the ones that that ask questions to get people to engage and
Yeah.
interact. So you want to be the producers of this content. So like I said, use ChatGTP to help you come up with a list of questions, and then people are going to start to comment. And what you want to do is follow up with people and start to create a dialogue.
Mhm.
And try to create a connection. Don't try to sell these people nothing.
That's what we do. Like, we're entrepreneurs, so we say that's what we're supposed to do. As soon as we can get them, they look like a lead, and we're going to jump on it, and that's where they start running away.
Exactly. You want to build a rapport first. You want to start educating them. Give them free stuff, give them some resources, give them something that they can actually use before you try to be like, hey, my thing costs $9.99, $10.99. No, 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 no. That's people don't like to be sold, but they like to buy.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
like for you
yeah.
to sell to them, but they do like to buy stuff. So, but they got to come up, to their own realization themselves. They don't want you to directly sell to them. So
Right.
focus on educating your target audience first. And like I said, these tools, these AI tools can give you a boost as far as
Mhm.
coming up with ideas and getting you started.
Right.
And another thing I would like to say too is any results that you're getting from AI, like always go back and edit it and reword it and just try to
Mhm.
make it your own. Don't just copy
Mhm.
and paste it. Like, try to, make it fit your brand or your particular style. And just to make it even more unique and more beneficial to your audiences. Because a lot of people just taking what they see on AI and, a lot of this information is going to start to be repetitive after a while. So you
Right.
want to add your own personal experiences. You want to add your own stories. And when you ask AI these questions, you can tell AI about yourself first. That's what I like to do too. I like to tell AI about my business, about my personality, and then I tell it to come up with questions based off of who I am or your brand or who your brand is. And then
Mhm.
it's going to start to give you even more unique responses. So always insert yourself into whatever you're asking AI so you can get better unique responses.
So in the last few minutes, you said tell AI about yourself. Like, what specifically would you tell AI about Paul the Connector?
Um, so I tell it about my journey and I talked about how I struggled, in my graphic design business. So I was like, hey AI, back, when I first got started, I was very transactional in my business, and now I'm focused on being more transformational. And can you help me create like a list of, I just give it personal experiences. I even tell it some of my wins, some of my losses, some
Mm.
of my just my, like I said, personal experiences. So when it gives the response, it always includes what I gave it. and your
Mm,
story is unique. Your
mm,
story is always going to be different. So that's the way for you to get AI to give you these unique responses by putting yourself into it because there's only one you. You know, if you just give it, if you just speak to it in a generic way, it's going to give you generic answers. But like
mm.
when you include yourself into the whole process, then it's going to, like I said, give you a better, unique responses tailored to your particular business or your brand.
Okay, that was a great nugget right there. That's something I've learned. I didn't know. I know how to be specific in using on like Chat GPT to ask specific questions, but I never thought about going into the who of me to include in it so I can get those things that will be more of me. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes, it's super powerful because now my content is more polished and it includes me into it. So it's not just like, oh, I just gave you a generic response that ChatGPT just gave me. No, I told ChatGPT a lot about me first before I asked for it to, and then you can create a dialogue. A lot of times you can create questions and have
Mhm.
AI like help you get a better response.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so I mean that's a huge one right there to make your content even more unique.
Yes, yes. I've used it in that way where it's like, okay, you gave me this, but now I need a little bit more. Give me, break it down a little bit more from what you gave me. I need a little bit more. And it does that. So it is a great way to kind of relieve the pressure from ourselves to to move forward, as long as we use it in a positive manner. So
Absolutely. Hmm.
so I want to thank you again for being online. Always learning something new when I'm with you. Always getting some great nuggets to take away and implement in my personal and professional life. So I thank you so much. And I thank everyone that is listening and who will be online to listen in the future. I know that I'm going to put this information on my YouTube channel, Royalty Business Group, and I'm sure Paul is going to have it out there on his social media platform. So if you missed anything, you can always go back and review it, if not here on Facebook, but on somewhere on social media between myself and Paul. And if we don't see you in person, no, happy holidays to you, whatever you may celebrate. Thank you so much, Paul, again for being with me. And I look forward to it next time we talk.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for having me on again. Can't wait till the next time.
All right. You have a great evening. Good night, everyone.
All right, you too. Good night.